Mr. Rick McRae, a Bushfire CRC researcher and team leader with ACT Emergency Services Agency Risk Management, presented on fire danger anomalies associated with Foehn-like winds in southeastern Australia.
Today we spoke about research that's been carried out on Foehn winds in southeast Australia. Foehn winds have been recognised in a number of parts of the world as drivers of catastrophic fire behaviour. They've been given names that many people are familiar with: Chinook, Santa Ana, Mistral. In Australia we haven't given them a name because we haven't really seen them as a key event in the fire environment. However, we've been doing studies of remote sensing data, numerical meteorological modelling data and field observation data, and we found that these effects can be quite pronounced in different parts of southeast Australia, and they can cause very rapid rise of fire danger in a way that isn't normally anticipated. So it's important that fire controllers, people carrying out prescribed burns, are aware of the potential for these things to cause the situation to escalate in an unexpected way. The Foehn wind is an event that can be picked up in weather observations and in numerical modelling. It must also be backed up by field observations if we're going to pick up the fine details of where and when Foehn winds kick in. But if one does kick in, it is important that people are able to immediately report that a Foehn wind event has been detected, and the people who get that report are able to react immediately in an appropriate way to ensure that the incident objectives are able to be met, that fire crew safety isn't compromised, and that we can maximise our ability to ensure safety of the community. The High Fire Risk Project concentrated its research on the high country in southeast Australia, the Victorian Alps, Kosciuszko and Namadgi in the ACT, and we found that these landform elements produce textbook interactions with the weather. We have, however, been looking at rugged landscapes in other parts of eastern, southern Australia and Tasmania, and there's every indication that Foehn wind events are going to occur in these other areas. And looking at satellite imagery, we can see the telltale cloud signature frequently over parts of Tasmania. We've seen it up in mid-north coast of New South Wales even. So it looks like it's important for a lot of people, not just those around the snowy mountains. There's always more we can learn about these events, and the primary focus has to be getting actual observations of how these things interact with fires in the field. The experience base has to be built up so that we know that we're reacting in the most appropriate way.